I don't trust you. You guys remember the cave episode? Well, this is 100 times stupider than last time. And we're not by ourselves. We're not ghost hunters. We're lore hunters. The paranormal is plagued with misinformation. And we want to learn the truth. We want to bring the light into the darkness and reveal the true faces that hide in the dark. Follow us into a whole new world. The world of the unexplained. Welcome to the Lore Brothers. Today we're looking into the history of ghost towns. Now, we're not looking for any specific ghosts, but in this particular town, there are some. And that's due to the violent history that surrounds this town. We are in Ruby, Arizona, and this is a ghost town. Ghost towns are scattered all over the world. There are a variety of circumstances that could create a ghost town, causing people to uproot and leave so suddenly. However, sometimes the energy of the community remains, be it good energy or bad. So we located and drove to one of the most well-preserved ghost towns in Arizona, finding much more than we ever thought we would. Oh, look at that. I guess after 100+ years, the foundation's gonna start giving out. This town has been around since 1900s, the early 1900s. It really started booming around 1912 until 1942, and in that time, around 11 to 1,200 people lived here at one time. And it was actually a pretty booming little town, and that's because they had a mine here. And that's predominantly where a lot of ghost towns derive from. As desolate as ghost towns may be, you feel as if you're not alone. Ruby, for instance, being completely empty, felt busy, as if we were surrounded by people, despite the fact that we were completely alone. Some portions of the town had a feeling of being upbeat and positive. The vibes felt good. And then other portions felt a little bit more dark and heavy. The air was thicker and the mood was somber.
So we're here in Ruby, Arizona at the Ruby mine, and they actually used to mine a mineral known as lead here, and that was one of the big contributors that turned this small mining camp into, well, a mining community. And with that rapid growth came a lot of violence and some of the richest history in southwestern Arizona there is today. So this is the spot they would get into cages and be lowered 750 feet below ground to mine lead. Now, this was during World War I era, so lead was in huge demand, and they did over $7 million worth of lead mining, and it would come up in around 15 tons of ore each day. It ran 3 shifts here, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and employed of over 350 men. This was a busy mine, and there is a ladder to get down, but that ladder is over 100 years old, and it's very unsafe. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't think I'm gonna be doing that today. Mainly because I'd like to make more videos.
One incredible thing about ghost towns is essentially this is a time machine. Which is why I love going to places like this. These are the residual energy behind ghost towns, where there was a high concentration of people and then suddenly nothing. It's places like this where the energy gets left behind. And what's so incredible about this specific ghost town is the violent things that took place here. One in particular, in this house, a gentleman who was married found out his wife was cheating on him, having an affair. So he came back here, made a cocktail of poisons, and killed himself right here. That alone will leave quite the residual energy. Now, the energy in this house, due to what happened with this gentleman, is a little heavier. Now, that's definitely going to be due to the fact that we know what took place. This is a man who was tortured internally. He was in a crazy spot in his mind to where death was the only outlet. And he took the time to create a mixture to take his own life, and he did so. Right here, where we're standing. He probably paced this room crying and then killed himself. Does that mean he's still here? That's not for me. I can't tell. But I can tell you that the energy of this room is a little thicker. So, do you guys remember the cave episode? Well, I thought that was a really bad idea, that we go in it. We could just bring you the lore standing outside the cave. Well, this is the entrance to the old mine. And it is 100 times stupider than last time. So, we figured we better go inside. I do not recommend people do this because these will kill you. They do collapse. Bad things happen. You will die. But we're going to take you inside. There is just a litany of residual energy within mines. A lot happened in mines. A lot of people's blood, sweat, and tears went into mines. And people died in mines. So we're going to take you inside this old mine. See what we can find. I'm not sure what'll be in there. This really wasn't on our agenda today, so it's kind of unfortunate that it's here. But we're just gonna go inside anyways, so.
Let's go. You go first.
All right. I'd like to reiterate that I do not recommend you attempt this yourself. Common risks include obvious dangers such as cave-ins and dangerous wildlife, but also hidden risks such as surface shafts, which means the ground around abandoned mine shafts and open pits may be weak and could cave in without warning. Undergrowth may hide shafts, while timber used for capping may have rotted to a point where it will collapse if weight is put on it. Then there is something called black damp, which occurs when there is still air with low oxygen levels, along with various toxic gases known to reside in mines that could effectively poison someone outright. Now, there are many more dangers I could include to this list, so please do not attempt this yourself.
This could fall at any moment. Look at the cracks right there in the ceiling.
There is a ton of lore behind ghost miners. the spirits of miners that had died within the mines and never left. There have been many sightings of spirits within mines, often nothing more than a residual haunting, but sometimes they're said to be far more malevolent.
This is pretty sketchy so far. There's cracks.
At this point, we were so focused on the obvious risks of a possible collapse that we didn't realize the walls and ceilings of the mine were completely blanketed with tens of thousands of spiders. This was most likely due to the unbelievably high amount of bugs that were flying around within the mine.
Oh shit. There's a lot of bugs, dude.
Yeah. Doc, do you hear all the bugs? Yeah, these are flies. It's a bad sign. It's like a fucking dead animal. That's a collapse right there. Where? Oh, yeah. That's a rock fell. Oh, fuck. What? Oh, shit, bats.
What?
Bunch of bats.
What?
Bunch of bats just flew out.
Swear.
Swear to God, scared the fuck out of me. There's a shitload of bats. That scared me. Dude, I don't with bats, bro. This is so sketchy. Look at this board. Oh, God. Oh, that's sketchy. Whoa. Okay, hold on. Holy crap. How far down does that go? Probably far.
Around the corner was a lone, old metal chair, just enhancing the eerie feelings of the old mine.
Wait, did you hear that? Bro, there is something in here. This is stupid. I don't think we should walk on that. I don't think so either. Come on. Look at the ceiling. Yeah. This is so stupid. Looks like that collapsed. What's that direction? Looks so cool again. It's scary. Oh no, dude. Look at that. Show me that. Look at this. Look how it's set up. Is it deep down there? Yeah, what's that? It's a hole. So we're gonna walk across the little bridge, and underneath the bridge is a pretty deep hole. So this is really stupid.
Oh, they're flying.
Oh my god. Bro, this is the Batcave. Look at this.
Damn, be careful.
Oh my god.
What? See?
Here, hold on, let me just. I just want to make sure it's stable.
Show his feet where he's standing.
Bro.
So
Holy shit.
Wait. Right there, hold right there. Right there.
it's not safe, dude.
No, none of this is fucking safe.
That's a bridge. That's a big bridge. How far does it go?
Forever.
What's that?
Something moved.
Be careful.
Ooh, I felt it under my feet move. So, the main feeling I have, we've come pretty far into this mine. The main feeling I have is unsafe. And there's a lot of bats. The energy in here is pretty intense, actually. It's like one of those situations, and we don't come across these places often, but it's one of those where I feel like I am somewhere that I should not be. And the problem when you get those feelings is it puts you a little on edge. I've heard things, but there's also a lot of bats down here. The ground under me, everything about this feels unsafe. So, I want to know what's further down. The other thing is it could be that we're not by ourselves.
These are loose.
Shh. At this moment, we heard something coming from deep within the mine. We have absolutely no idea what it was, but the mic was actually able to barely pick up the noise we heard. Whatever it was, though, it definitely put us further on edge. This is the sound enhanced. Bro, it sounds like yelling, I swear to God. Maybe it's the howling or something from the wind. I don't know.
I don't like this, bro. This is beyond dangerous.
This is a cave-in right here.
Yeah, these are all cave-ins, bro.
Okay. So we've been walking for a while, and the cave's starting to become pretty unsafe. There's a lot of cave-in signs, and we're losing battery. We're gonna head out, and hopefully nothing happens between here and the exit. I keep hearing noises. I swear, I don't know if it's the wind howling or what it is, but I can hear it. And it's tripping me out, and it's down that way. I don't know. Maybe another time we'll go to the end. With no battery left, we decided to wrap it up and get out of the mine. We still don't know what it was we heard down there, but one day we'll return better prepared and travel as far in as we possibly can.
That was super scary. And there was somebody in there. We heard something. We were not alone in that mine. We looked for it. It was really, that was something I've never experienced before. I'm ready to move on.
So we're about to run out of battery. Thank you guys for following us. This has been an episode on ghost towns that kind of morphed into an episode of mines, which was really sketchy, but
Yeah, we encountered something that I don't think we've ever encountered before.
it was odd. It was an odd experience, and I'm excited to go back and look at the footage. But thank you guys. Really, I appreciate you guys being here and following us. Please make sure you like and follow our Facebook and YouTube. Share this video if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment. We love interacting with you guys, and if you look hard enough, it will find you. It's widely believed ghost towns are nothing more than dilapidated structures and empty buildings, but I believe differently. These locations are home to many things. Some things we can see, and sometimes things we can't. I would like to thank Ruby, Arizona for allowing us to film this episode of The Lore Brothers. This ghost town is preserved off donations alone. So if you would like to donate to Ruby, Arizona, you can go to rubyaz.com.